Imagine a single family so powerful that emperors bowed to their credit and kings adjusted their wars to match their balance sheets. For over a century, the Rothschilds weren't just bankers. They were the bloodstream of Europe's money and power. Their story reads like a thriller clan moving money faster than monarchies could move soldiers, whispering decisions in palaces, all while remaining largely invisible. The unsettling truth is, this family didn't need crowns or armies. They engineered modern finance itself, and we are still living inside the machine they built. To understand their rise, we need to step back to late 18th century Europe. The continent was a patchwork of rival kingdoms: Austria, Prussia, France, Britain. Wars were constant, and treasuries were unstable. Gold was money, but armies ate it faster than kings could mint it. In this chaotic landscape, credit was survival. And that's where Meyer Amschel Rothschild enters the picture. Born in Frankfurt in 1744, Meyer started as a coin dealer. But he was shrewd. He realized that arranging loans for the aristocracy was far more profitable. His big break came when he became the financial agent for the Prince of Hesse, one of Europe's richest men. By the time the Napoleonic Wars erupted, Meyer had a revolutionary plan. He sent each of his 5 sons to a different European capital: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. This created a private family banking network that no government could match. Think about that strategy. In an age when news traveled by horseback, Meyer built a private intelligence and financial system faster than most states. His sons could move money across borders, lend to allies in one city while collecting debts in another, and most importantly, spread risk. If Paris fell to Napoleon, London was still running. This international web was their true innovation diversification on a geopolitical scale. The Napoleonic Wars turned the Rothschilds from clever bankers into titans. Governments desperately needed money to supply their armies, and traditional treasuries were too slow. The Rothschilds stepped in. Their courier network moved information and gold faster than official channels. Speed was power. The most famous example is Waterloo in 1815. Legend says Nathan Rothschild in London learned of Napoleon's defeat before anyone else, sparked a panic by selling British bonds, then secretly bought them back for a fortune. While the story is exaggerated, the core truth remains. The Rothschilds' couriers were faster, and Nathan did use that information to his advantage in the bond market. After Waterloo, the British government became even more dependent on Rothschild credit. Information and credit were the new weapons of empire, and the Rothschilds wielded both. By the 1820s, they weren't just funding wars, they were financing peace. They lent to governments across Europe, helping fund railways, canals, and mines. They turned sovereign debt into a standardized market. Every time you hear about a government issuing bonds or facing a debt crisis, you're hearing echoes of the Rothschild blueprint. They realized real power wasn't hoarding gold. Real power was controlling who had access to capital. They didn't need to overthrow kings. They made kings dependent on them. With this power came suspicion and conspiracy theories. People whispered about a secret Rothschild control of Europe. But what most people missed is that the Rothschild story wasn't about one family's greed. It was about the creation of a new financial system. International networks, bond markets, and government dependence on private credit. That system is what still rules us today. Then came the 20th century. 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and the Holocaust shattered the old world order. The family's assets were seized, and their influence never fully recovered. After 1945, Wall Street and central banks called the shots. But here's the paradox. While their direct dominance declined, the system they created only grew stronger. Sovereign bonds, fast information networks, and the idea that controlling credit is the ultimate power. This is the DNA of modern global finance. Today, Rothschild & Co. is a respected investment bank, but it's no longer the emperor of finance. Giants like BlackRock or JP Morgan dwarf them. Yet, their ghost is everywhere. Every debt crisis, every interest rate hike, every government bond issue, those are the mechanics of a world the Rothschilds engineered 2 centuries ago. So what's the lesson? Don't get distracted by the myth that one family still secretly rules the world. The reality is harder. The Rothschilds engineered a system that outlived them, A financial architecture that still dictates the rules of wealth and debt. Understanding that system is the first step toward financial freedom. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And the rhyme of the Rothschilds is a reminder that real wealth isn't just about having money. It is about understanding who writes the rules of money. If this gave you a new perspective, hit that subscribe button. History has the answers. I'll show you where to look.